What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. So guys, it seems like before 2019 even ended, people were just bombarding me with questions about 2020. They wanted to know if I knew an inside scoop about any Baselworld predictions, any upcoming releases in the watch world. And yeah, guys, you know what? I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this episode this soon in the year, okay? It's January at the time of filming, and I was like, you know, if I say something and it's inaccurate, or if I make some sort of speculation and it doesn't come to fruition, people are gonna get upset and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And then I was like, you know what? Anything I say is guaranteed to piss someone off, so let's go ahead and do it. It's 2:39 p.m. Let's get down to business. That's right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about 5 companies that I have some predictions for in 2020, and you know, this might be happening around Baselworld, maybe SIHH, but I'm sure this has got to be 100% accurate, because if I'm saying it, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm spot on, baby. And I'm actually totally joking about that last statement. None of this is corroborated at all. It's not like I have some insider information that you don't have. I'm just speculating, just like everyone else is. But here are, honestly, my predictions for 2020 releases. The first company everybody wants to talk about, no matter what year it is, no matter what time of the year it is, Rolex. So I have 3 main predictions when it comes to this powerhouse of a Swiss sports watchmaker. And I say sports watchmaker because Cellini, we're just gonna ignore that. You know what, in 2020, I hope that the Cellini line is gone. That's not a prediction, that is just a prayer of mine. Okay, so for my first Rolex prediction, the Hulk gone. Okay, I think the Hulk is going to be discontinued this year for an indefinite amount of time, okay? I think they might bring it back in the future, but this year it will not be on the roster. Why? Because Rolex is not stupid, okay? They see the hype that was built around this money green dialed, money green bezeled Submariner, and they're not going to let that hype die out, okay? So instead of the consumers getting sick of it, Rolex is going to pull it off the shelf at the peak of its popularity, and then people are going to buzz about it once again, being like, oh my god, the Hulk is gone, where's the Hulk? We just want a Hulk! And then, you know, they're gonna tease us with it, and in the future, they're gonna bring it back. But yeah, for 2020, I think the Hulk is gone. My next Rolex prediction has to do with the Explorer 2. Okay, now I'm actually not wearing my Explorer 2. I'm wearing my Rolex Date 1500, but I'm not talking about the 16570. I'm talking about the 16570, the 42 millimeter, whether it be the white dial or the black dial variant. I think they're going to change this watch up. This is one watch that they haven't changed in a little while, so I think we could be seeing a new GMT movement, perhaps a ceramic bezel, but for sure, I think the Explorer 2, they're gonna have a revision there, and don't quote me on it. Ceramic bezel, quote me on it. All right, and my third and final Rolex prediction for this year, this might be a long shot, okay, and this is gonna be maybe even controversial to say. I would love to see it, okay? I would absolutely love to see it. We've seen stainless steel Submariners. We've even seen yellow gold Submariners. We've seen two-tone Submariners. We've seen white gold Submariners. How about a titanium Submariner? Hey, okay, I don't know if it's actually gonna happen. I would love to see it happen in 2020. A titanium Submariner would be absolutely crazy, and I think the market would go nuts for it, and I think it would absolutely sell incredibly well. So yeah, 2020 titanium Submariner. I think that, you know, instead of discontinuing the Submariner like everyone speculates every year, I think they're going to add a new one, titanium. Okay, so we got Rolex out of the way, but what about Patek Philippe? Okay, this is a huge powerhouse of a company as well. It's incredibly sought after with the recent hype of the Nautilus. So what's gonna happen in 2020 for them? Well, I think that they're gonna ride out this hype train that's going on with the Nautilus. I don't think they're gonna discontinue anything, but I think they're going to re-release a solid yellow gold variant. Okay, there were solid yellow gold Nautiluses. We can look at one right now together. I think it's beautiful. But rose gold has been, you know, the recent hype train. Rose gold is the current flavor of the week. But I think they're going to bring back yellow gold. I think we're going to see a resurgence of yellow gold, in fact. And so, yeah, I think a solid yellow gold Nautilus, I think that might happen in 2020. Let's see it. All right, so next up, Grand Seiko. Now, Seiko as a whole was getting in some hot water in 2019 because people were really, you know, they were noticing that Seiko was making some moves, moving around their product placement, their price points, different series, different watches being discontinued and reissued under different lines, and just all this confusion, and the prices have been going up. Okay, so what is going on? Is Grand Seiko really trying to compete with the big boys? Well, I don't know about that definitively, but I know that Grand Seiko honestly does make better watches than some of the Swiss powerhouses, but again, because it doesn't have Swiss made on the dial. I don't know if my mic picked that up, that's crazy. So guys, I've already made an episode kind of predicting what Seiko is doing with their various lines and where Grand Seiko is going to sit in all of it, but for 2020 specifically, Grand Seiko is coming in on their 60th anniversary. Now, they've had a few different anniversary editions already when it comes to the Spring Drive, celebrating that Spring Drive movement. They've also celebrated the reissue of the J14070. Now, I have the actual J14070. I forgot the reissue reference number, but a couple years ago they came out with that, and that's a gorgeous watch. So what are they going to do for their 60th anniversary? I mean, they can't do another reissue of the J14070, so what's it going to be? Well, I think we might see a VFA reissue. Okay, this is one watch, super understated, kind of looks simple. Some people have even said bland. But it was such an important, unique watch for this company to make that these watches, the VFAs, still fetch enormously high prices. If you can find one, you're going to be spending a pretty penny on it. So I would not at all be surprised if Grand Seiko, for their 60th anniversary, reissues a VFA. I would love to see that, but let me know what you guys think. I know a few of my viewers actually own some Grand Seiko VFAs, and I'm totally jealous because that's just a crazy watch. But yeah, what do you think about that? Okay, next up, Tudor. That's right, David Beckham. When I was walking down the street with my Spice Girl wife, something beckoned me. There was a little pawn shop across the street, and there was a beacon of light shining in my eyes. What could it be? I walked in. Ring, 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 ring. The door in the pawn shop had a little bell on it. I walked past. The pawn shop owner was like, "Oh my God, you play football?" And I was like, "I prefer to call it soccer, because that's what the Americans call it. Oh, how I long to be an American." Anyway, in the case in the front was one of the most beautiful commodities I've ever had the pleasure of holding. It was a Tudor wristwatch. Honey, what are you holding over there? What are you fondling? Oh, shut up. It's a Tudor. And scene. The joke there is that David Beckham is getting paid enormous amounts of money to peddle Tudors. I hate Tudor. My toupee's looking good though. Okay, so Tudor, I'm disappointed with them every year it seems, but I have 3 main predictions for them, and some of them may seem controversial, but I gotta share them with you regardless. So the first thing I think they're going to start doing in 2020 is the wrong thing, but come on, it's Tudor, so we can pretty much bank on them doing the wrong thing. I think they're gonna start thinning the herd when it comes to non-Black Bay watches. That's right, so instead of, you know, stopping the release of yet another Black Bay, I think they're just gonna send it, go full bore, and start discontinuing their non-Black Bay watches. That's right, they're gonna go 100% on a bad decision instead of 50% on a good one, and I respect that. So I think the first thing to get cut in 2020, honestly, as much as it pains me to say it because it's pretty much the only Tudor I like, is the North Flag, okay? I think the North Flag is gonna be gone in 2020, and again, that's the most unique watch Tudor makes, and it's a bummer, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't put it on their website, they don't put it on their roster in 2020. And some of their other non-Black Bay variants, like the disgusting reissue of the Tudor Advisor, I wouldn't be surprised if that thing's gone also. Because let's face it, when people think Tudor, they think Black Bay, and Tudor is just, they've kind of pigeonholed themselves. They've released so many Black Bays that they pretty much can't come out with anything else. Even that disgusting SKX they made was a Black Bay. But I do have one prediction. So okay, thinning the herd when it comes to non-Black Bay watches, discontinuing the North Flag, those are the top two predictions. There's one last prediction of theirs, or of mine, for Tudor, that I think would be actually really cool, and this would be kind of an upgrade. If the Pelagos gets a GMT complication, I think people would eat that up, and I would actually like that. So yeah, that's only adding functionality to one of their better watches. So in 2020, I think the Pelagos could get a GMT. And last but not least, the final company I really have a strong prediction for is Vacheron, okay? Vacheron Constantin. Or as I like to say, Vacheron Constantin, and I own one, so I can call it whatever I want. People are gonna be like, how can you do, you're just a snob. Time telling, oh, you have a Vacheron, it's old and it's small. Is that a girl's watch? But seriously, if you were ever to add that to the time teller shop, I'd probably buy it. My parents didn't love me, so I have to make fun of how people pronounce things online. That's right, guys, I said I'd be going even crazier in 2020, deal with it. I think the Vacheron Overseas is going to have a solid titanium production model. That's right, they kind of had an answer to the Rolex Explorer series last year in 2019 when they released that one-of-one titanium, very kind of outdoorsy, almost field watchy excursion type Overseas that I absolutely lusted over, but I mean, come on, there would literally be no way for me to actually attain that watch. So they have had Overseas variants that were stainless steel with a titanium bezel, but I think the hype around that one-off titanium, you know, mountain climber edition, you guys are looking at it right now, so you know exactly which one I'm talking about. I think the hype around that one really showed Vacheron that they could get away with making a solid titanium production variant of the Overseas, and I think they're gonna do that in 2020. There's kind of a theme here. I think titanium is the next material to really kind of be bolstered up this decade, and yeah, I could be wrong, but I call them as I see them, and that's what I see. That's what I see. Got a problem with it? Forget about it. Oh wait, we're not doing that episode anymore. You guys already saw that episode. All right, guys, well, there you have it. My predictions for 2020 when it comes to watch releases. Now, I might make an updated version of this episode as the months go on, but so far, Rolex, Patek, Grand Seiko, Tudor, and Vacheron, I think we could be seeing some changes there. But what do you guys think? What did I miss? What do you want me to talk about? What do you want me to mention in another iteration of this episode? Leave me that comment and we'll talk to each other in the comment section. And guys, there's a whole bunch of ways to support the channel. If you enjoyed this content, if you laughed a little bit, if you got frustrated, if you learned something, you know, you can go to the Amazon store. Affiliate links in the description below. Those take you to my Amazon shop. You can check out my personal website, the best place to buy affordable vintage luxury watches, certified with a 1-year warranty, or you can just hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and watch the videos. That's probably the easiest way to support us. So guys, I want to thank you so much for riding it out with me in 2020 and beyond. I'm gonna hit 100K this year. That's my goal, and you guys are helping me by being here. So thank you so much, guys. Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, share this with everyone you know. I'm Jory Goodman, the time teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. Am I gonna dab at the end of my episodes in 2020? You bet your I will.